Hey guys, welcome back. We've had our first couple of runs now with the RS 1.0. And yeah, I said I'd report back to see where we get to. Um, we had a shakedown at Model Tune Raceway Tuesday previous. Then a first round of our indoor championship at Ulster Model Car Club on Saturday. And then another quick shakedown after some changes that we felt would be beneficial at Model Tune Raceway again on Tuesday just past. And yeah, it was a trying weekend, but nothing to do with the car, all to do with me, unfortunately. Um, yeah, nobody's surprised. But I mean, the car. One thing that was checked. The car is as robust as anything. It was running the 17.5 turn blinky class. Um, so obviously there was no. It was moving rightly. I had a couple of big knocks, and it's come through everything unscathed so far. The body shell hasn't. Um, Although it kind of made the point in one of my other videos where all the cut lines are at the back. There's nothing at the front. Still cracked arches. But yeah, all the paintwork side of things is fine. Um, but yeah, look, let's get the body off it, and we'll go over the bits and pieces that I did stupidly. There we go. This is the car as it's finished running. I haven't cleaned it yet. I haven't done anything. I'm in the Wadass, so I have an airline there. I must get a quick go over it here before I leave it again. And yeah, a few bits and pieces that we differentiated from the kit setup. Nothing major. I put on some BD11 springs, 2.4 and in the front, 2.4 to 2.6, I think, and 2.5, 2.7 progressive springs in the back, if I remember right. Built everything else as kit. I did pop the aluminium servo horn in that, simply because I stripped one of the plastic ones on the BD11. Obviously transponder bits and pieces. I had built the front diff with 500,000 weight oil, and welcome to stupid moment number one. When I took it upon myself to build the front diff differently, the kit, I built the rear one as suggested. So instead of building the car with it now has 5,000 weight oil in the back, and I built it with grease, the grease that's supplied in the kit, and it would have been absolutely fine if the front was done the same. But obviously with the front pulling like with almost like a spool in it, yeah, the rear end felt okay at the start of the run. Then obviously as grease builds up heat and starts to fling about, it got really taily as there's no resistance in the diff, and then sort of came back again towards the end of the heat. I didn't know if that was me driving or the car coming back to it or the tires heating up or whatever, but it made the car really inconsistent over the run. And that was, quite frankly, just stupidity on my side. What I will say is, between that side of things, the car was really good, actually. Apart from just on par, it was a bit inconsistent. I did move the rear shocks in to the inner hole at the top to try and just resist roll a little bit, which did help. But yeah, it wasn't great. The other issue I had was, normally when I build a kit, I will go out and I'll put a brand new Savox servo into the car. It's the brand I use most of the time. I like them. They don't give me any problems. They're easy to put spares into. They're good value. I didn't have a brand new Savox servo sitting handy, so I delved into my box and picked out an old generic metal geared shorty servo. I remember looking at it and thinking, that looks brand new. I'll put that in and see how it gets to. So I put it in, everything tested okay, everything looked absolutely fine on track. Went to Model Tune Raceway, which is a little carpet track, and it drove fine. Centered it, made sure it was running properly, drove the car about. It had loads of steering, but I just assumed that was old tires, no additive. Yeah, when you go onto a big track with a proper straight, you realise that it just wasn't centering properly. And worse than that, it would occasionally get glitches as well. So, I mean, for example, it was... at one point that sticks out in my memory was letting Alan through one of the finals round the right-hand corner. I released the lock off the right hand off the stick to bring the car straight, bring it wide again. Turned into the right-hand corner. The car turned in and immediately went left straight into the barrier. And that was fairly common throughout the day. Little glitches like that. And it was just you couldn't trust the car to run alongside somebody else. This was nothing to do with the chassis. This was all to do with me using a component that I shouldn't have used. You know, there's a reason why that's been in my box for many, many years. I can't remember when the last time I used it was or when I tried it, but there's a reason it was left in the box, and I should have, as gut reaction, left it there and took one of my Sawbox servos out of another car if I didn't go and buy another one. Anyway, that's life. I have since replaced the rear differential oil. It's now got 5,000 weight in it. So 500,000 in the front, 5,000 weight in the back. And the faithful Sawbox 1254 MG, if I remember right. Servo in it, and ran the car again at Model Tune Raceway on Tuesday, and drive out of a corner was transformed. The car's tracking straight and true. It's not messing about, not doing anything that it shouldn't be doing. Really looking forward to getting it back to the Ulster Model Car Club and giving it a proper rattle now that everything should be troubleshooted. Yeah, it should be right now. But yeah, I mean, the car itself has been chassis-wise, handling-wise, really sharp turning, little bit of understeer mid-corner, and certainly whenever we changed the rear diff oil, it got just very safe, very planted at the back end, exiting in quarter two. So really looking forward to getting it back to a big proper track again, and yeah, giving it a bit of welly. Yeah, I mean, the nice thing about this is it did take some, as you can imagine, the servo not centering properly. It didn't track straight very well. So it had a couple of knocks at damn near terminal velocity. And it is absolutely fine. It broke nothing except a body shell. There's a crack in that somewhere. A bigger crack on the other side. I kind of wanted to hide that from everybody. But yeah, I mean, it had to be said. The car still, even with those three issues, car qualified 7th in an 8-car A final. We had a B final as well, so it's not like it just lucked into it. And yeah, I mean, even in the finals, it struggled, but then we couldn't. It was very difficult to race alongside people whenever you couldn't be trusted with the car going straight, basically. That's going to be different next weekend. Yeah, I think it's a really, really good base considering the issues that we had with the car. Pace-wise, it was bang on. The individual laps where I didn't have an issue really weren't that far off. You know, cars twice, 3 times the price. Really, really impressive little piece of kit. Next thing is to get a fan bolted into this, which I didn't do for the weekend. Get a fan bolted into that, whack the advance of the timing round to the motor, get some proper ponies in behind it, and yeah, let's see if we can do some more damage to the body shell this in 2 weeks' time. Again, I'll report back because I am doing it anyway, so may as well keep you up to date and see how we get on with it. But yeah, for the moment, thanks for watching. If you're free, check out the other videos. I mean, there's an example of this getting painted. It looked quite nice at the time. I've managed to fix that though. And a few other bits and pieces as well. There's the videos for Model Tune Raceway, where we did the shakedown and then the after test of the car, and the Ulster Model Car Club, where we ran the car on the Saturday of last week to give it its race debut. So you can have a nosy at those as well, and a few other, all the usual body shell malarkey as well. But like I say, yeah, if you'd like to, leave a like, comment if you have any questions. Really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button. That'll be superb. If you need anything or you have any more questions, obviously I can be got pretty much anytime on the Facebook Gingapaint page, Gingapaint Facebook page, which is just facebook.com/Gingapaint, and you can chat to me there. Thanks now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next installment.